Hey, Shelly Shell. Hey, sis. Love you, girl. Good to see you. How has your day been going? I had to do a continuation on this. I had to come off for a minute because I seen other people were still alive. Do you want to come up? Hey, Miss Sexy Ray. Hey, girl. Hey, Peppy Poo. Welcome back. I'm gonna drop this link. Y'all hold on for 1 second. Y'all know I'm slow, so give me a minute. Okay, that's the link, Shelly. If you want to come up. Hey, Robin. Good to see you again. Hey, Annette. So I want to give y'all an update on my situation uh from a week ago or whatever. So I've been applying for all these jobs. I had several interviews. I got hired part-time on a job. It don't pay much. Here in North Carolina, it's like the minimum wage has not went up. They don't want to really pay nobody the way they should. They want you to do two jobs in one. So I'm still applying for jobs and stuff. I'm still going. I haven't gave up, but hey, it's just like the jobs is not coming quick enough. But it's all good. It's gonna get better. I just have my moments when I want to give up, but I'm not gonna give up. It's just aggravating. It can be so aggravating and irritating. Okay, hold on, Shell. 1 second. Hey, sis.
Hey sis, how you doing? Hey
I'm
Chad.
all right. Hey, Kathleen.
Hey everybody coming in. How you doing today, sis?
Girl, about to lose my mind as usual.
And I was just
You know
about to
how I
say,
overthink.
yes, yes. I was just about to say, just take it easy and remember we talked about patience. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely gonna
Yeah,
come. God definitely not gonna forget about you, baby. So, just keep on pushing.
yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. I
Mm-hmm.
could see if I wasn't trying, but I am. I'm up
Mm-hmm.
constantly putting in applications. I'm up day and night, barely get sleep. One day I just had to literally sleep because I was tired, So um I had went on a job interview yesterday, and it was like an open interview. I didn't know it was open interview. They didn't say anything about it being open, but when I went in there, it was like two other women ahead of me. Then I came in, and then it was like four or five other women coming behind me. I got nervous. I started shaking. I started crying. I kind of got nervous because I'm like, oh my God, look at all the competition in the room. And I'm just like, okay, I had a feeling like, okay, I am not going to get this job. Hey, Deborah, thank you for coming in.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Don't look at what everybody else got going on. When you walk in there to get that job, you already had it in your mindset that that job is this job is mine. You go in there, don't worry about what nobody else got going on, but what you want to accomplish at that moment.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Don't think that you are less of. You know what I mean? Because you think that you see more because you don't actually know what's behind, the makeup or what's behind them. They could be dressed and ready and, and all that, but behind closed doors, they could be struggling and, just like anybody else. So,
Right.
we can't judge a book by its cover. We just gonna go on with a straight level mind and think about what our mission is. You know what I mean? When you walk up in that job, just to think about what you went in there for and already know that you go in there with the mindset of this is my job, you
You're
know?
right. Right. So the first
Yeah,
job I got is part time. It's on like 20-25 hours a week. And I'm just like, and the pay is little. It's not a lot at all and whatever. And I'm in this room and I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna pay for this room from week to week or whatever? Then I have to get another job so I can save or whatever the case may be. So I'm looking like for a full-time second shift or third shift job. And it's aggravating. Do you know you got to work a job a week in a whole in order to get paid? And then you just still be like, okay, I'm still like, okay. In my mind, I'm just like, it needs to come quick. It needs to come quick. It needs to come quick. I know it's not like an overnight thing. I know it's a process, but it's just still like, good gosh, come on, let something happen. Hey, Miss
right.
Deborah. Hey, Bree Bree. Hey, Ashley. But so it's just like
Everybody,
my mind is constantly overdrive.
right. And it can get like that sometimes, sis. But you know what I mean? Just take deep breaths and, like I said, think about the task at hand. It can get overwhelming when you got different situations and things going on. But just keep pushing. I promise you, everything will go in place. Everything will
Mm-hmm.
fall in place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just have the
And
patience.
I just feel like I just have a point to prove, not only to myself, but to everybody else too as well. And, and maybe I shouldn't feel like that, just only to myself. I have had
Right.
people in my corner, I had people have helped me and all that type of stuff. And, it's more, like I said, it's more too, it's the mental thing. I get to the point where like, whatever my mind is thinking, I get to texting or whatever the case may be, and I just can't help it. The mind is running. It's running 24 hours. It's running
Right.
even in my sleep because I'm trying to think about what's next, what's going to come next, what's going to happen next. What's going to happen from one day to the next. Is this
Right.
job going to call me? Is this job going to call me? Like one lady I talked to yesterday, she was hiring for like a driver or whatever, like a shuttle driver or whatever. And she was like, well, have you had experience in that? I was like, no, I haven't really had experience in, dropping other folks off to the destination. And she was like, well, we want somebody experienced, but she was like, I love your attitude. I love your personality. She was like, we're having a job fair next week. And she said, I'm going to send you a personal invite because I want you to get back into personal care assistance. And she said, I want you to meet some of our top clients. She said, I
Hmm.
want you there. So that made me feel good. So
Yeah.
that was a good thing, but it just like, okay, in my mind, you know, I need this job now. I need this job now. Hey, Roz,
I
thank
think.
you for coming in.
I mean, the little
But
steps will turn into big steps, sis. Just don't forget that. Progress, trust me, you're making progress. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm making progress, but it's just like it's like I said, it's not coming fast enough. But hopefully when it does, I can get things rolling the way I want it to get it rolling, and I can be able
Hmm.
to save or whatever and get back up on my feet the way I used to. I used to pay my own bills. I ain't have to ask nobody for anything. You get what I'm saying? And my own
Right,
car, my own place. If anything, people wanted to come over to my house, say my nieces, my nephews, everybody came over to me, you know.
right, right. I know what you mean. It's okay, and I mean, it's okay. You are strong. You even, confident for you for coming out and even telling your situation because like I said, it's a lot of people that around the street or anywhere, they're trust me, they're definitely going through the same thing you're going through, and like I said, you might be encouraging them to come out, or if they don't want to ask for help, maybe ask just in case they if needed. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing to have a season, when it's not yours. You got to struggle a little bit and take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. And just keep pushing through everything. You know what I mean? I just keep pushing
Hmm.
through everything. It's definitely gonna come. It's gonna work out. But definitely just don't worry about what nobody else got going on. You know what I mean? Just worry about what you got going on, what you came to do and accomplish. Trust me,
Yeah,
you will.
I agree.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come.
I
Time is time. Like I said, the little steps turn into big steps, but you know, our little steps are really big steps. You know what I mean? Even though it might look small to us, but trust and believe the process.
right.
Trust and believe the
I-
process.
Hey, Quiana, if I'm saying it right, if I'm not,
All
please
right,
forgive
all right,
me.
Shauna. All right, hey Rod,
Hey
everybody
y'all,
I
thank y'all
mentioned
for coming
before.
in. I know everybody is in the daytime, everybody is working or whatever, and other lives are going on. But I just wanted to get my live out the way and pretty much just let everybody know an update to my situation or whatnot. But it's just like I don't know, sis. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm
Yeah,
better off mentally than what I was, what, 2 weeks ago, a week or so
yeah.
ago. I'm better off mentally, but I'm still struggling in that apartment, of course. But you
I
know,
understand.
um,
I'm not saying it's an easy process because I understand the racing thoughts and all that, and then you could be sleeping and you like, what's next? Okay, what's next? Because you don't got that stability. You know what I mean? So until you get that, then you know what I mean. Your day is gonna get better with sleeping. But until then, I understand the racing thoughts and what's next, and you know what I mean. And that's when you just gotta take a deep breath and just breathe. You know what I mean? Just breathe and you know what I mean? And know that it's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop the anxiety. It's gonna be there. You know what I mean? But we just gotta keep pushing. I can't express that enough. I've been through so much, and keep pushing was my phrase, and I they quit, and I just push, keep pushing on through.
right. It's the anxiety. Yeah, my anxiety is real bad. The panic
Mm-hmm.
attacks is real bad, so
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, I breathe. I know I need to breathe or whatever, but I listen, I can't help it. Like I can't
yeah,
help I wanted to go away, but it's just like it's there, it's staying there, you know. And I get myself in the emotional state of constantly crying all the time and stuff a lot.
right,
I try to be stronger a little bit now, but I fall weak a lot, So I'm just like, listen, if I can get my mind strong the way it used to be strong, then I'll be
right,
good. And I can say, it's nothing going to stop me. Even though I say that now in my weak points, I have to say that now in my weak points, you know. But
right,
it's just like if I can get my mind back mentally the way I want it to be and used to be, I know for sure ain't no stopping. I definitely know that for sure. It's none.
right, right, right. And
You
and
know.
you gonna get there. Yes, you gonna get there, sis. But when people tend to not have the stability of living day by day or something like that, like you are, what I mean, you're trying to make sure you got that next day and that next day. That can be hectic. But at the same time, if that's the life, you know what I mean. We just gonna ride it out. You know what I mean. We're gonna pray and we're gonna just keep on going. And I know how the anxiety is, and it's crazy. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Tired
And
of
I
having
just
it,
don't
and
have
I can't do
anxiety
it.
with just this. Yeah,
Hmm.
I just don't have anxiety with just this. Just
Yeah,
overall a whole lot of stuff. Life itself, because life be life,
yeah,
and.
yes, yes. I have anxiety. I'm diagnosed with anxiety. It's one of my mental health issues. That's one of them. And so I know exactly where you're coming from. Where it's not coming fast enough. The racing thoughts and all right, I'm good today, but what about tomorrow? I know that's the hard
Hmm.
part. That's the hard part.
Hmm.
You know what I
And I was
mean?
diagnosed with PTSD, PTSD. So,
Right,
I don't take medicine for that, but I'm quite sure they wanted me to take medicine for that, for all the trauma and stuff that I've been through.
right,
But,
right.
I need to be taking it for that. I need to be taking it for anxiety. I need to be getting on some meds. Sometimes I feel like, because I'm about to go insane sometimes. So, you
Yeah,
know, I need to be
yeah,
doing something.
yeah. Well, like I told everybody, therapy is not a bad thing. I attend therapy. I have for some years, and you know what I mean. It ended up, not it's not a bad thing. It definitely helped me, and I take my medication, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've learned tactics. There's different things you can do in the middle of, you feeling that way or getting them racing thoughts. Find something to do in replace of that. You know what I mean?
Right,
See, mine's is music. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
me and music is my best friend. It's been my best friend for ever. I love music, but when I you know came got my diagnosed with my illness and stuff like that, music became my best friend. That was my outlet. So when I get the racing thoughts, they want to come in, I will turn on my music and
right,
vibe out. You know what I mean? So that's do some things, you know,
right.
and then
Miss
always take
Sexy Ray
breaks
said,
too, because I know you're not taking no breaks. You just looking for jobs, looking for jobs, looking for jobs. So application,
and
application,
that's what
application,
I'm
application.
doing. And yeah,
I
that's exactly
know,
what I'm doing.
I
That's
know,
exactly
and
what
you're
I'm
not
doing. Every time I
breathing.
turn around, I am looking for jobs. I'm throwing in applications. I'm on Indeed. I'm on Zip Recruiter. I'm on Snag a Job. I'm on so many jobs. I'm calling jobs,
Yeah,
and it's just like,
I
you know,
know. Just take it,
it's few calling back. You know what I'm saying? It is like, why y'all not calling me? But I realized too, like, with situations changing with the presidency, with Trump and stuff in office, a lot of people are out here more now looking for jobs than ever.
yeah.
So it's just like, okay, I'm not the only one out here. I'm not, and I pray for everybody that is not struggling, that they get the help they need and they get up on
Hmm.
their feet soon as well. Like, I understand. But music, I used to run to, I love music as well, but I died down on listening to music because I'm always in my own head. I'm always
Right,
in my own head. I'm
right,
overthinking,
right,
so
right.
it'd be a whole lot. It'd be a
I
whole
know,
lot,
I
you
know how
know.
that is too. Yeah.
And I get tired of having to I always express my feelings to people, because I know sometimes it can get on their nerves and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I just be like, listen, I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to vent to, I have my girlfriend, whatever, but I know I gets on her nerves, so, just with things, and like I go to y'all, you and open, and I talk to
Right.
y'all about whatever. So
Yes.
it's just like, I don't want to be always constantly on somebody's nerves about me,
Well,
why me this, why me that,
yeah. Well, don't listen. That's the life that you got. That this is your life, and this is your channel. And if you want to get on here and vent, and people want to come in the room, it's their choice to come in the room and hear you. If they don't, they can step on out. It don't matter if you come on
right,
here every day and give an update. This is your room, your safe space, and if nobody want to listen, they can find another live. So don't downplay yourself and think that you get on nobody's nerves because, like I said, this is your channel.
right,
This is what it is, and this is what you talk about, and mainly, your supporters know, you know what I mean. And I think that you got a good support system. You know what I mean. And
right.
they will want to hear, your updates and how you doing and all that. So don't think that you getting on nobody's nerves. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Hey, dreamy girl.
Hey,
Hey,
Dreamy.
open sis. Okay, you
Hey,
just got off.
Oakland. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Okay, you just got off. Okay. Um, Rod said you are not alone. I think Indeed is the best job resource. You're right. I think so too. Ross. But it's just that the fact that like they have a lot of jobs and stuff on there, but it's just the fact like, okay, they're not calling back, or some stuff I'm not qualified for, or some stuff that they want that I don't have, so it's just like you're limited. You're limited. And then, like I said, with North Carolina, like the pay is low here. They don't want to pay you nothing here. They don't want to pay you nothing. It's hard here, and it's just like, okay, I want to get away, I want to get out of this state or whatnot, but I know I just can't run away like that. I just can't run away, but excuse me, but
It's okay. It's okay, sis. You got this. You got this.
I was trying to keep myself from crying, so I
You
said I
got this.
wasn't going to do it.
It's okay. It happens, love. It happens.
And I,
It's okay, sis. But what it you can't. I'm gonna tell you one thing that you're not gonna be able to run from it. Okay, you're not gonna be able to run from it. The only thing that you can do is, you know what I mean, have a nice support system around you, and you got sisters, and you just get through it. You can get through it. But you never can get you never can run from it. You can't run from it. It can shake you all your life. You know. So you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. I know how it feels. I know how
it
it
just,
feels.
it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot. But
Sometimes people's breakthroughs come at a time when But I know you like a little discouraged. Like, well, when is mine gonna come? Or I do so good, but it's God's time, and nothing to leave. He's working on you. He's
yeah,
working on you,
and like I
and
said,
you
it's
got.
not. I know it's not an overnight process, but it's just like I'm ticking for time. It's like time. It's like come on, come on, come on. Something just come on. And but when I was on the job, when I was on the interview yesterday, and he was telling me, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna call people back. I'm gonna call the people back at 5, or the person that I decide to hire. But if I don't hire you or whatever, he's like, you see this job back up on Indeed or whatever. He was like, I want you to still come back in and come in for another interview or whatever. And and a lot of times with cases like that, when they talk like that, you know, it's like you get the vibe, okay, I'm not gonna get hired. So when 5 o'clock came yesterday, I like, okay, he ain't called. And I look again at 6 o'clock, he ain't called. 7 o'clock, I like, okay, I didn't get hired. So um maybe, it was
It,
little
it,
pay anyway, but it's just like to me, I was just willing to accept any and everything, just to get extra income or whatnot.
mm,
Um,
that's okay.
but
Something gonna come
I,
for you. It just wasn't for you. But God definitely gonna place something in your path. That's gonna be for you.
you know, um,
Mhm.
I just wanted to come fast, and it's just not coming fast enough. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going, whatever. Just like when I get off this
Yeah,
live, I'm gonna
yeah,
go back on and put in applications and do the same thing that I've still been doing, and
yeah.
or whatever. But but it just gets frustrating at times. But I'm making some progress.
You did. You came a long way, sis. Yes, you did. You came a
You
long
know,
way. Trust me. And your success is coming. It's coming, sis. Trust me.
and it just I don't know. I'm just tired of the tears dropping, tired of crying. I'm tired of feeling. It's like I'm feeling sorry for myself, and it is like I just feel like other people should help me more. Then I know, okay, I have had to help no, they should help me more, and then I go back and then, well, maybe you should help me more. Then it goes back into the no, you should, so the mind goes in overdrive, and you know what I'm saying? And I just want to be able to help my own self. I don't want to have to go to anybody else for nothing else anymore ever again in my life, ever again. Only as far as, mentally wise, I just want to be able to the vent and how that goes. But hold on one second. Robin said, when you are filling out your application, you can do everything on there. Don't limit yourself. What you don't know, you will learn because they are going to train you. You got this, Lolo. I know. But some of them, they be like, they're gonna train you, but yet they don't hire you. So I still put in for the job anyway.
Okay. Hey, sissy.
Thank you, Dreamy Girl. Hey, Open.
Hey, sisters. Hey, y'all. Hey,
Hey.
Joy. I just got
Hey.
off. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just got off, y'all. I didn't even know you were live.
Yeah. I didn't see you even backstage. My bad.
Yeah, I've been back here for about 5 minutes.
And I
It
went.
just
I seen
popped
the
up on my
message.
screen that you was up here. I'm like, oh shoot.
I went
My
to check,
bad.
and
I'm
it dropped me
sorry.
all the way down.
What'd you say, Shirley?
I went to go check. It said chat one down here. I pushed it on there. It said you was backstage, so I was gonna go tell low, but it dropped me all the way down. I
Oh, wow.
didn't. Yeah.
Kathleen said, be an
So,
inspiration
what?
to others.
Yes. What happened? What happened today?
Well, nothing happened today. I just put in job applications or whatever. I didn't get hired for the job for yesterday because he said that he would call people. He would call the person that he decided to hire back at 5 o'clock yesterday. So I didn't get hired for that job.
So,
So
did he call him back?
no, because he said that he would call the person that he hires back. He
Well,
made that
that don't
clear.
mean. Look, he could have been busy. He probably ain't got to it. Maybe he's still waiting, thinking
Mm-hmm.
about it. I'm like, well, is it a definite no that you speak to the man? He might have went to sleep. He was too
And
tired when he got.
Listen, honey. I listened to what he said yesterday, honey, and that was all in my mind. Not to think to call him back. No, that
You
was
need to
not.
call him back.
You know,
You might
like
got
not
the
to think to call him back. Hey,
job.
Cree. Um, but thank you for coming in. But I didn't think of that
Welcome
part
in.
either. But you know what? I'll still call him back just to be for sure. I can call him back.
oh
Yes,
yeah.
So
ma'am. I would because
Mm-hmm.
to all jokes aside, you never know what could have come up. Like, okay, I had applied the previous job, well, 2 jobs before this one. It was this lady that had interviewed me with a panel, and I didn't hear from them in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, I guess I ain't get that job because she never reached out to me. And the day that I told somebody that I don't think I got the job, the lady emailed me back and she said, I am so sorry it took so long, but we have been really busy with the end of the year paperwork and getting stuff together that I never got a chance to reach out to you, but we did want to make an offer to you. So it doesn't always mean that you don't have it if they don't get right back to you, or even if he did say that, unless you speak directly with them and they tell you, oh, we did find another candidate, then yeah. But I would speak to him. It also shows that you're really interested. He said yesterday, you calling back today, that shows that you're interested as well.
Mm-hmm.
right. I agree. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
try and follow up on that. Hey, Mandy, thank you for coming in.
Hey, Mandy,
I
I
agree.
appreciate.
I
Hey,
try and follow
boss.
back up on that, but I'm gonna go to this job fair next week, because like
Oh
this woman told
yeah.
me, like she told me yesterday, she said, I love your personality. And she was like, she asked me, was I thinking about getting back in a PCA or whatnot? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, well, she was like, I could feel your smile through the phone. She was like, I want you to meet some of our top clients. She said, I'm gonna personally invite you to this
Oh
job
wow.
fair next week. She said, I'm going to actually be there and I want you to meet some of these people or whatever. So I'm gonna go. I'm going to go for sure or whatever. But like I said, it's just about like a timing thing, because it's about my livelihood. Because from one week to the next, I don't know where I'm gonna live. I don't know where I'm gonna stay. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's just like I said, the mind overthinks, it goes in overdrive. And like I said, I
Mhm.
believe in God. I have faith, but my faith was very small not too long ago, and I'm still building up on that or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But it's just like I just wanted like a quick snap, like, okay, you got the job. Come on in, start tomorrow. Come on, like I want it to happen like that, even though I know it doesn't happen like that with jobs most of the time.
Right.
It's just like it's just something that I would like to see happen, but honey, no, it's just not happening fast enough. But I mean, I know how God works, and I know he may not come when you want him, but he comes always on time.
Right.
So I mean, I'm blessed to get this part-time job or whatever, like, but it's nothing like from 4 to 5 hours a day. Like he said, 20, well, she said 20 to 25 hours a week or whatever. And so and the pay is little and or whatever, but it's something to start out with. But I'm just like, okay, I got this part-time one shift job. I need something full-time now. And I was saying to somebody, I was like, you know what? If I had to get 3 jobs, I work 3 jobs. And they was like, you ain't gonna never get no rest. Okay, I sleep when I'm dead. That's how I feel. So it's just like it, it's about me just getting there, want to just go, 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 go. But like by me not having the transportation to do that either. Like tomorrow, like I don't have the transportation to get where I'm going. But guess what I'm gonna do? I'm getting up at 6 o'clock to get to where I need to be at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna walk. I'm going to walk there. So I'm like, you know what? This is a way to burn these calories off at the same time. Okay. But I'm still gonna get to this job. I'm not gonna let nothing stop me. I refuse to let anything stop me.
Right.
Anything. It could be rain, sleet, snow, and hell, and I don't care. I'm getting up and I'm going. I'm gonna get there the best way that I know how to get there. And
Right.
that's it. It just is what it is. But you know, I just I can't wait for things to get better. And hopefully in due
But
time it will.
It definitely will. Definitely
but I
You
was
know.
will.
gonna also say too, that's like gradual blessings. It's like rejoice over every step along the way. That God
Right.
bless you with a place to stay. People were, giving funds to help with that, and you've been having a
Right.
place to stay. Now you at least have it's not what you want, but
Right.
it's a place along the way, a job along the way
Right.
to your next. And so if you start looking at it in chunks and rejoice over where it's taking you now. The full picture will come, but it's like although you want the full time, maybe it's meant for you to do this for a little bit until you get a better paying one. Or the better paying one could be at the job fair. You just never know, but just go with where it is now and rejoice over that and thank God for that. And then because if you try to look at it, oh, I'm trying to be rich, I'm trying to get, then your brain is going to continue to focus on that, and it will take away the blessings in the meantime. Sometimes we're concerned with the big miracle that we miss the little miracles along the way. And God had to convict me of that one time, even when I was believing for my mom's healing. He was like, she hasn't received the big healing yet, but thank me for the little things I'm doing. She's been going to the hospital. I've been healing her, bringing her out. It's like little things like that add up to big things.
Right. I
So it's
agree.
good.
I
Right.
agree.
Like I said, little steps is really it's big steps. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Might look little, but they're big. And as long as you keep taking a step, trust and believe it. You're gonna get what you know.
And you're
So I'm
doing
proud.
great. Like you're getting out there, you've been looking, you've been going, like God will make a way for you to get there tomorrow too. It's like he has your back. He really does. and gonna make a way
Right.
for you because you've been really working hard. I'm proud of you. Like really,
Thank you.
just focus on what you bring to the table, and you bring a lot. Like sometimes we look at materialistic things, and it's not always about what we have, but who are we? What gifts and talents do we have? What can we bring to this job? So other people, when we go into these interviews, those people don't know what we have at home. They may not know we're on our last $5, or I didn't have a way to get here, or I'm staying in a hotel right now. They don't know those things. What they will see is who is sitting in front of them. And so when anyone, I know Lolo, but if anyone's hearing this, y'all out there looking for jobs and things like that, go into full confidence knowing who you are and what you have to offer. Don't worry about what you have. Don't worry about the competition, who's there. Okay, because they looking for a job too. Okay.
Right.
So go in what your strengths are. What can you bring to the table, and put that out there as best as you know how. And if you don't get that one, that means that God has something better in store. Like always think of it that way. Because sometimes the enemy will play with your mind, like, oh, see, you don't know nothing, you weren't good, all of this different stuff. He'll play with your mind, but it's not true. Just know that God is going to give you his best, and he's going to open the door that's specifically for you. Okay, nobody can have what's meant for you.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
I totally agree. But you see, as yesterday, I started freaking out real bad. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to cry. I'm like, oh my God, look at all these people around here. She dressed this way. She's dressed that way. I'm not dressed this way. I'm not dressed that way. Like I used to dress that way, So like when I hit the clothes and all the stuff to do all that. But and I'm like, oh God, I'm not gonna get this job. I'm like, oh, my eyes is getting red now. I'm about to cry. So I was freaking out real bad. I just started just freaking out. I started panicking real bad. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate you. I am really trying, y'all. I really, really am. And I'm not gonna keep, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop, you know. Um, I am blessed to have this part-time job or whatever the case may be. But but I was literally like in full panic mode.
Yup.
I was in full, as y'all know that I was literally in full panic mode. But when I went in there, I did the interview, I shook his hand and all that stuff. And, and when I came out, I hit y'all up and y'all was like, women, you're just upset and you don't win that interview already and came right out. Like, yeah, that was a quick interview, wasn't it? Like, yeah, it was a quick interview. And to me, the quicker it was, the happier I was glad to get up out of there because I was a nervous wreck. I'm not gonna, I am not gonna lie. I was a full blown nervous wreck. You get what I'm saying?
And then what was
I'm
funny,
not gonna lie.
when you said I'm up there, because I don't know, Shelly had came in there into the chat a little late, but it was funny because I was at work and I'm up there like I could feel your anxiety. I'm like, breathe. So I'm like trying to speak, and you're like, well, no, you got to type it for right now. I'm up here trying to type real fast. I'm trying to get out everything I'm trying to say real fast and type it.
Yes, because I
I
was
was like,
sitting there like,
breathe.
okay. I was sitting there like, okay, because Sarge was asleep, so I couldn't wake up. I was like, okay, this ain't gonna work here. I said, yeah, can you
Shelly come
please
in
just go
too.
ahead, just type it out, and let me know what you said, because I can't hear. I'm in this room full of women up in here. I'm looking at them, they're looking at me, and then we're just looking around at each other. Somebody came in there yesterday and seen the room in there, and she basically like, they gave her the application. She looked around at us. She said, and put the application right back on the desk and walked right back out. She was like, oh no, I'm not doing this, So, it's just like, oh Lord Jesus, this even made me
It
even
was
more
Shelly.
nervous.
Shelly going back and forth. It was like me, and then here comes Shelly. We were double teaming that devil.
I know. I came
You
in.
got it.
I came in the mix of it. So when I came in, sis was putting comments that back to back to back, and then I started adding mine in. Like, oh, okay, this is where we at. Okay, so now we just
Yeah.
in there. I'm like,
It's like I was just like, whoo, when that
Which
interview was
one?
over, baby. I'm telling y'all, no lie.
That
When
was
that interview was
a
over, I was,
it wasn't even 3 minutes. I said, well, we
I
just
know.
still encouraging her. And then next
Yeah.
thing you know, well, it's over with. I was like, what?
Yeah. She left for 3 seconds and came back in the chat talking about, like, I'm done. You done? What happened? Did you what?
He didn't even have a chance to ask 2 or 3 questions. I'm like,
I
that must have been a,
know.
what's your name? Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to cry. Oh, okay. Well, I'll let y'all know about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically how it was. But to me, in my mind, I'm thinking like maybe he already made up his mind or who he going to hire. But he still had like 5 other people behind me he had to hire. You know, uh,
Girl. Oh my
Miss
God.
Kathleen said. Miss Kathleen said start networking.
Yeah.
And she said domestic centers have closed for careers. Most are free. Check your women's centers for connections. I will. Let's definitely do that, Miss Kathleen. Thank you so much. Let's see. Group homes are always a good place to check on. Yeah, group homes are always one. Yes, that's true. I know what I
Yeah.
gotta check around the group homes as well. I don't know if there's many group homes here or not, but I gotta check. Hey, Cancer 66.
I
Cancer
cancel
66.
66.
Okay, you listen to the live for work. Okay, cool. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I can't keep going into these job interviews in a frantic. Like I'm literally in a frantic, you know. So because I do get nervous, I get shaky, and I do like who wants to, you know, like rejection. You get what I'm saying? Who wants
Yeah.
to be rejected? You know what I'm saying? Or the thought
Mhm.
of it. You know, I could maybe get this job, and maybe not get this job. You know, like that's my mind thinking, that's my mind frame. And a lot of times that I go on these jobs interviews, but I give them a smile or whatever the case may be. I suck it up or whatnot. But like I said, you know, with the past interviews, I broke down crying in the past interviews because I was literally already stressed before coming in there. You get what I'm saying? And then, you know, stress and once I'm
But
still
that's a
coming in.
lot of
Even when I come out.
people. You're not the only one, though, about that. A lot of people go into job interviews, and it's really a process to get to that mindset of I don't care what these people say, it's not going to affect who I am. Because that's a whole process. Don't nobody want to
Right.
hear no. Don't nobody want to be rejected. So that's normal. But when you start taking it on, and you got to understand, it's a whole process. And I'll talk to you more about this part behind the scenes, but it's a whole process to even get through some of the other stuff to get to that confidence level and really
Right.
go out here and
Right.
know I am worth it.
Yeah.
This is what I bring to the table and all of that. So you're doing well and you taking the first step. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
taking the first step on a lot of this. So it's like as long as you don't let it stop you and let the enemy put into your mind different things about you, just keep going. Each interview is gonna get easier and easier and easier, and then you'll get immune to know you like, oh, that ain't the one for me anyways. Okay, it ain't the one
Right.
for me. Okay, y'all the one missing
Right.
out, not me. Okay,
Right.
so that's how you'll start eventually looking at that. But that's a process. It's hey, it still messes with my mind if I go and put in an application. I think I rock the interview, and they say we're gonna move with another candidate. Hey, nobody
Right.
wants to hear that. So that's a normal part of the process. Like seriously.
Right.
Hey,
Right, Miss
Alexis.
Kathleen, I'm going to try the VA. You know, I think about that. The VA in the hospitals, I do need to try. I be hoping that they be on Indeed or whatever, but I don't be seeing them on Indeed. Maybe I just need to call and try to see. You know, is there's a way I can get through the hospital itself. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Boo. So maybe I need to call the hospitals to see are they doing any direct hiring or whatever.
Hmm.
So, I didn't think about that. I do need to call them
Yeah, the
and check and see. I
hospitals.
think I'm gonna do that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lo, I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
think
I'm
I'm
gonna hop down. I gotta go into the store right quick. I'm gonna be
okay,
back.
go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
Love you.
so that's what's going on with me or whatever the case may be. Oh, I want to sis, have you seen about the couple that that well the dude he unalived his wife? You remember they was on
Yeah, I
Facebook, they
seen.
on Facebook.
Yeah, I
You
know.
seen
Yeah,
about
that's
that couple?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
yeah.
that was absolutely horrible, wasn't it?
It was very horrible, and just to know, like watching that live, um, watching that live, I really didn't know that it was going to end like that. Just by me just scrolling on Facebook, and I happened to, stop there. But the way that conversation is talking, and she laughing, and she thinking everything is a joke and a game, and you know what I
Right,
mean. And like I said, I had just found out, that name that she said at the end and why it was triggered. Why it. I think that it happened. Um, they were saying that when she said that last name, when she said you don't want to talk about Udi, um, and the cameras went off. Um,
right.
Udi was supposed to have been a guy that he had unalived, and after that, people were saying that he wasn't going to stay around his neighborhood. He wasn't going to stay around. She had put it, said that name, put it out or whatever, and he killed her and killed himself or unalived
Yes, I mean,
her, and that's sad.
yes, that was very, very toxic. I think they should have
Yeah,
left. They should have left each other a long time ago. I know it's
yeah,
easier said than done, but
hmm
when he has already constantly threatened you, your life or whatever the case may be,
yeah,
before, or you threaten his or whatever, it's time to go. It's time to walk.
yeah. He picked up the
It-
knife in the video, and I'm like, and she's still laughing. Oh, what you going? What you going? You going to use it? And I'm looking like, yo, why she think it's a joke? And then I tell you no lie,
oh, I
I
didn't
woke up
hear
the
her
next
say
day.
that. I didn't hear her say that.
Yeah, she said, yeah, what you going? He picked up the knife and he's like, what you going to do? Kill him? And she laughing about that and da 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 da. But that thing was toxic from the beginning. But it was crazy for me to wake up to know that you know uh, they both were alive from that lie, and that's crazy.
And yeah, he unalived her, and then he left the house and he unalived himself. And there's two kids is now without their parents or whatnot. The brother went live, and he was like, he should have took him seriously. I guess he spoke something of that nature of him possibly doing something to her before, and he didn't believe it. And I
Mhm.
believe she felt like because they was on live that he wouldn't do anything. But he kept warning her in that live, like, you know, if I end this live, you're not gonna walk out this door. So the way she
Yeah.
kept laughing and antagonizing him, I would have just left that house, and or I would have sat down and been quiet, one of the two, and let him just
But
tell whatever he
yeah,
wanted to tell.
but you
But
could tell that they both like they're toxic because you already beat me up last time, and so evidently she liked the toxic to stay there.
right,
And I know that wasn't the first situation. Like I said, we heard it wasn't. So it has been many situations where they both should have just went their separate ways, but they wanted to keep the toxicity and look at the ending, thinking it's a game, cheating on each
right,
other. You got this we got, it's crazy. And y'all went for that and they still stay together. So yeah, that's why I want
right,
these ladies to know that, there is someone for everybody. You know what I mean? You might be in that relationship, but trust and believe me, when you get out of a relationship, the first thing you think of is, oh my God, who I'm gonna find next? Who gonna want? You know what I mean? You tend to leave that last relationship like that. But I'm telling you, baby girl, it
right.
is bigger
I
and
mean, it
better
shouldn't
out
even be
there.
thinking about who you're gonna find next. You should be thinking about healing. There's no way I
Yeah,
would jump in from one relationship to the next without fully healing or whatever. If somebody
I'm
come
gonna
along, they
work.
come along down the line. But I mean, you have
Right.
to really heal, and you got to be able to get over what happened in that
Yeah,
last relationship that you left, in
yeah,
order to be able to move on to somebody else and have a
yeah,
fresh, clean start with them eventually. Like, people rush into these relationships, that jump out of them, they rush into these different ones, and they didn't have no type of closure or healing from the last one that they had. That's why, me personally, I rather for listen, if you just got a relationship, I rather for you do your healing, and then maybe once you do your healing, we can see something about it later on or whatever. But with toxic relationships like this, I mean, come on now. You
yeah.
you have
I
to
can't.
leave. You have to leave.
You have to. I mean, I have friends that went through these same kind of things, I would try to tell them to leave. They couldn't at the time, but when they did, it was the best thing. I never went through anything domestic, but I know that I don't take no nothing. Like my last relationship, I'm like, on my last relationship, I left because, you know, first of all, you raise your voice. Um and uh, you know, you said some things that I don't know where it was coming from. So at that point and at that time, if I have to argue or fuss or fight, I don't do no arguing or nothing. My relationship has been good, throughout my years. This is the third one I've been in, but you know what? I've been on my own journey. You know what I mean? Since
Hmm.
September 2022, and yeah, I left over. Yeah, holler and scream. I mean, just one time, holler screaming, went out of
Hmm.
character, and you know what I mean, and saying things I don't know what you talk about. And you know what? That day he was left. I mean, that
Hmm.
day, 8 years, I didn't
Hmm.
care about that. My mom and my grandma taught me well, and I will not tolerate no disrespect. And if I would let him get away with that first time, 8 years of hollering and I guess changing your persona or changing your personality, I don't know what you was doing, but you wasn't gonna be doing it with me. So I ended that
Right.
ASAP. And that's how fast I can do that. We not arguing every day. I don't believe in makeup sex. I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe don't touch
Hmm.
me. I know it's problems in relationships, but it's certain problems in relationships that you can bicker and do all of that. But all that screaming
Right.
from the top of your lungs, when I got that the first time in 8 years, and all this and irrelevant stuff, oh yeah, it was over. It didn't even matter. Love and
Since
all,
you
it
said
was
it's
over.
done with, huh? You let it go just
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
done with. Yeah, it was done with. That's a story to
Hmm.
tell. Because I'm telling you, that night was that night was actually crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, he ended up eating my sandwich. It ain't funny, but it's crazy.
Right.
Then they want to make me another one, but you've been a gentleman all this time. But I'm trying to figure out where is this anger coming from at this time. At this time,
Right.
and you know what? I wasn't going. I wasn't trying to figure it out. I'm done. We done. You done. Don't touch me. It's over, and that's that. That's that. And it was over. It was
That was
over.
a weird. Yeah, but
Let me
that
tell you,
situation right there was just sad though, just to see that happen. And things like that
yeah,
happens every day, all the time.
it
Every day, all the
does. So
time. You know,
many people
but
love.
for it to be as
Okay, Michael,
viral as it went, oh my God, it's just like everywhere, everywhere. And I had been looking at it, and every time I get on the internet or whatever, that's all I see. That's all I
you
see.
know,
So, rest in peace to both of them. Um,
yes,
I just
yeah,
wish they both would have got out of it.
yeah,
That way no lives would have been lost,
right.
and the kids would have still had their parents around or whatever.
Hmm.
It's okay to leave. It's okay to leave. It's okay to be by yourself. It is okay.
Right, right.
I'd rather be by myself than to go through something like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, no, no. I would never go through that anymore. No. So,
Right.
so it's just a sad situation overall or whatever. I know his mother
Yeah.
got up there and made a statement and said they kept coming back to each other and they kept trying to tell them to leave one another or whatever, but they wouldn't listen. So I don't know if they
Um,
felt like that they can, figure things out or work things out. But hey, listen, I'm not getting on the internet and I'm not telling nobody nothing that goes on in my marriage. If I can't figure this thing out behind the scenes, I'm not getting on the internet to do it. I'm just not gonna do it.
right, right. No,
But
not going
yeah,
to.
that's sad though. It's sad, but
Yeah, I'm
I
praying
wasn't
for
gonna be
you.
up here long, sis, or whatever. I just wanted to get
Right,
up
right,
here,
right.
just let people know the
Mhm.
update of my situation. I'm still gonna keep going. I'm still gonna keep moving. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out.
Yes, it is. Amen. It's
Yeah.
definitely
So,
going to happen. Mm.
and I want to say thank you to all the people that show love and support that has helped me out along the way. Um, so I want to get up here and basically do that or whatnot. Open. I know you said you had to step down, but you cannot come back up because I'm about to go.
I'm gonna drop down while you keep close with this. Blessings to everybody in the chat, and I love y'all. Go ahead,
Okay,
sis.
love you too.
I love you. Love you.
Love you too. All right, y'all. I'm about to end this live or whatnot. I will be back again live with another update to let y'all know what is going on with my situation, step by step, day by day. And yeah, and move on from here. So y'all all have a great day. Be blessed.